What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Fast. Today, let's get started with ex-UFC veteran pours cold water on Kamaru Usman's title dreams. Kamaru Usman's return to the octagon at UFC Atlanta was one of the most anticipated matches in the MMA world. With fans questioning his comeback after sustaining 3 losses, Usman secured a dominant victory against Joaquin Buckley by unanimous decision. However, UFC veteran Din Thomas was not convinced that it's the time to involve Usman in the title conversation. Although Thomas acknowledged Usman's perseverance and disciplined nature, he emphasized that there are too many fighters in the division he has to compete with to reach for the title. But the fact that he completely shut out Buckley, I can see him making a case for wanting to fight for the title. But I just think there are too many guys ahead of him. But a guy like Usman, who's pretty popular, he had 3 losses, but he only moved down like 2 spots in the rankings. And then he gets this win against Buckley, who he was ranked higher than. It still opens up that opportunity for him to get a title shot, but I don't know. I just don't know if he could go out there and do that same type of performance to somebody like Shavkat Sean Brady. You know, like these guys are more dimensional than Buckley. Let's just say that. They're a lot more dimensional than Buckley. UFC CEO Dana White gives insight into the failed Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall negotiations. UFC CEO Dana White revealed more details on the timeline in the failed negotiations of the UFC heavyweight title unification bout, which came to an end Saturday with Jones's retirement. White claims the fight was done, however, something happened on Jones's side and the bout fell through. White isn't sure if Jones's latest legal trouble served as a catalyst for the situation. I saw Jones's legal news Sunday. When I saw it today, I thought, everyone is going to think that's why he retired. Maybe that is why he retired. I don't know. These are all questions you have to ask him. We had the fight done. You saw me talking about it very confidently, that this fight was going to happen, and then he changed his mind. White revealed the news of Jones retiring Saturday during the UFC on ABC8 post-fight press conference, putting an end to a frustrating saga that had fans waiting for a title unification bout at heavyweight for almost 2 years. Many fans accused Jones, and continue to do so, of ducking Aspinall, given the lack of interest in fighting him, despite being the interim heavyweight champion of the UFC. No, he's not ducking Tom Aspinall. He's never ducked anybody. And I think the reality of it is, whatever changed his mind with this fight, you'd have to ask him that. He's 38 years old, and I don't know. Alex Pereira teases his UFC return timeline. Alex Pereira is back in Brazil, recuperating his body and refining his skills for a potential return. The former UFC light heavyweight champion isn't rushing to make an octagon return. After a run of high-stakes fights with little downtime, he has taken a step back to rest, spend time with family, and get his body right. The UFC seemingly wanted Pereira to fight at International Fight Week in July, but he turned that down. He felt the need to fully recover after staying consistently active through his rise. Well, right now I took some time to recover my body, to heal, go to Brazil right now to get a little big, spend some time with my family. We are in talks with the UFC, maybe something in October. Pereira remains locked in on reclaiming the light heavyweight belt he lost to Magomed Ankalaev at UFC 313. Despite some fans calling for a heavyweight move, Pereira is staying put for now. He believes he knows the adjustments he needs to make to beat Ankalaev. Khabib Nurmagomedov delivers heartfelt farewell to Jon Jones after retirement. Khabib Nurmagomedov has issued a message to fellow all-time great Jon Jones following the American's recent retirement from MMA. Jones is widely regarded as the greatest MMA fighter of all time. He holds numerous UFC records, including the youngest champion in promotional history at just 23 years old. The respect that the former 2-division champion garners as a fighter from his fellow combatants is without question. As such, the Eagle took to his Instagram story and shared the following. "My congratulations, legend. Even though we were not friends, but you are the best who ever do it in UFC history, and you inspire millions of people around the world. You have nothing more to prove in this sport." Ilia Topuria gets brutally honest about why he is confident in beating Islam Makhachev at welterweight. Islam Makhachev's move up to welterweight diminished the prospects of a potential fight against Ilia Topuria in the lightweight division. While a fight at welterweight cannot be ruled out at this point, observers suspect that Topuria, who has competed at featherweight, could face a significant size disadvantage in that division. However, Topuria remains confident in his ability to beat the Dagestani fighter regardless of these factors. Why not? That is my question. I used to train with people who fight in the welterweight division, and I felt very good. We had very competitive rounds. I feel that I can dominate and knock out anyone in this world. When it comes to fights, I feel that I am the best fighter in the world. If I go to the street and someone says something to my wife, I'm not going to ask him how much is his weight and how much is his height and reach. I will go all in. And in this case, I am going to get paid. I am going to get another world title. Then why not take the risk?